touchdown on the fourth play of the game. I was like, okay, this might be a better game than I thought. And I was like, literally, it was like a catalog of errors for Air Force, just like one after the other. It was like fumble, intercept. There was that. What was the commercial? What was the commercial? It was like, I forget what it was. It was like, military names have 41 and 9 when it comes to if you got the record. And then there was that, holy shit, the other shit. This is weird.
Can I sit next to you? How y'all doing?
You guys, we got KJ and Tristan. We'll go ahead and open up the questions.
First off, I just want to say shout out to the girls team. LSU. Basketball this year is going to be fun.
KJ, you guys led by 4 at halftime.
Yeah.
What was the message kind of in the locker room? And then you guys come out to, I think it was like a 12-0 run, something like that to start the second half. What kind of sparked you guys there?
I think just playing with more patience. In the first half, we were kind of more stagnant and we were just not moving as much. And that's why we had a lot of turnovers. In the second half, we got guys cutting. Shout out Javon, rolling hard. And we're just making the easy, simple plays. One more passes, getting easy shots. Just simple basketball. So we play with more pace in the second half. And that's all Coach was really trying to talk about.
Tristan, you took one shot in the first half. What was the strategy behind that?
Ain't no strategy. I just wasn't playing like myself. I wasn't being aggressive out there. I know these guys want me to be out there, take shots and stuff. So, second half, I was really frustrated with me with myself in the halftime break. But, these guys, picked me up, talked to me. Made me feel like I should go out there and then be aggressive. So that's what it's all about.
What do you kind of do when you go back in the locker room and you're like, okay, I'm not doing what I know that I'm capable of? How do you kind of hit the reset button?
Well, you're a little bit in your own head. Maybe let off some steam, but that's what you got teammates for, like that. Picking you up, talking to you, getting you motivated. To step out there and fight with them, and I'd do anything out there for them. So.
KJ, I know efficiency was a big thing you wanted to work on, scoring the ball in the offseason, 7 for 9 tonight. I mean, is this exactly kind of what the step you're hoping to take offensively this year, kind of being this efficient?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what you want to see, season by season. You want to improve. And, just been getting a lot of work in the summer, watching a lot of film. That's pretty much, where I want to be at, how I want to play.
KJ, kind of along those lines a little bit, at some point during the preseason, Tad said this has the potential to be a high assist team.
Mm-hmm.
22 tonight, I think, matches the season high from last year. Was tonight a good example of what this team can do when you share the ball?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I love this group. I feel like we have a lot of talent, but we have a lot of unselfish guys as well. And that's really the dangerous part of our team. Anybody can score the ball, and I don't think nobody really cares who does it.
Tristan, seeing guys like this, Salam, Bangkok kind of get their first minutes, obviously Cody as well. What did you see from the young guys tonight as they kind of get their feet wet in college basketball?
It's just funny, I remember when I was a freshman out there running around. Obviously, I actually feel like these freshmen that we have are way more experienced and way more calm out there than I was as a freshman. So, props to them. But yeah, I'm excited for them. We talked about this last game too, but they finally getting their feet wet and getting out there and getting after it.
Tristan, how do you feel like the team performed defensively tonight? It seemed like there was a stretch maybe late in the first half where you got away from things, but overall, the final numbers look pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it in the locker room. Our goal is to hold opponents to under 40% field goal, and then out-rebound them by at least 8. So that's what we did tonight, and that's basically the recipe to success for us. And then everything else will take care of itself.
For either of you guys, does Javon Hadley get the respect that he deserves?
No, he don't, man. No, he don't. I mean, he's just a dog for us. And, you know, a lot of the stuff that he does not show up on the stat sheet. You know, like I talked about playing with more pace, the reason why we got a lot of open shots was because he would, you know, set screens and roll real hard, put pressure on the rim, and he was boxing out, you know, their opposing big man, you know, and he just does so much for us. You know, I talked a lot with him, you know, last year, obviously me and him being out, and I knew this was the mindset he was going to have and the way he was going to play. It's finally good, you know, kind of see him get some recognition that he deserves, and I just know he's going to be great for us.
Seems like Eddie's already kind of a fan favorite. I mean, he's already, you know, getting the crowd into it every time he gets the ball. I mean, what kind of energy has he brought to you guys already?
Mini Dion.
Nah, I mean, he's kind of similar to Ev in a sense. You know, he feeds off the crowd energy. And, you know, you want a guy like that on your team, you know, that, you know, when stuff's not going, stuff's not, you know, we kind of playing slow, energy's not there, he's going to come in, he's going to bring the energy up. And he just wants to see this team win. You know, he doesn't care how he does it. You know, he just wants to have a good time out there, you know, just play with the guys.
Yeah.
He's a big force in the middle. Did you notice the spacing change? Did you notice when he's in there that front court adapts?
Exactly, yeah. And that's the reason why we wanted to get him over here. I already knew that was going to happen, so it's going to be fun seeing guys trying to guard that.
Yeah.
Tad talked about turnover issues and limiting those prior to the season. You guys had 16 as a team, but you had 0 yourself. What's your mindset as far as taking care of the ball as individually and as a team?
Yeah, I mean, that's just, like I said, just working on over summer, you know, improving each year. Obviously, that's been a big focal point that I've been trying to focus on, you know. And it's good, you know, to go out there and kind of show it. And, you know, I'm capable of doing that on any given night. And that's just something that I've, you know, put in work for, you know, not trying to force everything right away, just playing more simple basketball.
Anything else? All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Good job. Hey, everybody. We got head coach Tad Boyle. Coach, go ahead and start with an opening statement, and we'll open up for questions.
Oh, it was good first win. You know, a tale of two halves, obviously. I thought we fought the adversity in the first half we had offensively and came out in the second half and figured things out a little bit. I was really proud of our defensive effort that first 20 minutes. We really guarded at a high level. So, and we pretty much did that the whole game. We had some breakdowns a little bit here and there, but really happy with this team's, you know, defense and rebounding, which is obviously, you guys know, something I stress, you know, every day, every game. Offensively, you know, 22 assists on 26 baskets is fantastic. I mean, that's as good as it gets. So, you know, sharing the ball, moving the ball is critical. we got to take care of our turnovers. So we had 16 again tonight. Again, this is a good basketball team, a good defensive team we played tonight. They proved that in the first half. That's one of the reasons we struggled. But we did a better job in the second half.
Obviously, three-pointers helps, but the run you guys went on to start the second half, what did you see offensively that was different, and how proud of you were you guys to respond that way after kind of a disappointing end of the first half?
Well, you know, it's interesting. We talked about two things offensively at halftime. We talked about putting pressure on the rim, whether that's by cutting, big guys rolling or slipping out of ball screens and diving, whether that's driving the ball. And we talked about ball movement. And you look at the first, 3-4 possessions that second half, we put pressure on the rim. Javon Hadley was terrific slipping out of those ball screens. We found him. He got downhill. He made plays. We made one more. The ball moved, and we found the open man, and they knocked down shots. I always talk about the basketball gods because I believe in them. Been in this game a long time, and when you come down and you don't move the ball and you shoot a quick three, they don't go in for whatever reason. But, man, you move that ball, you get it inside, you make the one mores, and that ball's moving, the shots go in. For whatever reason, they just do. And so the ball movement and pressure on the rim, to answer your question, was the key in the second half that we didn't get in the first half.
Kind of following up on that, KJ hit the first one coming out of the half, and it kind of felt in the arena like a sigh of relief almost, like the lid had come off, and then you hit three more right after that. Could you guys feel that down on the floor on the bench? Yeah,
look, basketball's a momentum game, and I think three-point shooting, much like free throw shooting, can be a little contagious. We were 0 for 7 from 3 in the first half, and I thought we had good looks, and that's just part of basketball too, is fighting through that. But we held them to 24 points in the first half, so we're still up by 4. You don't feel like you've accomplished a lot, but then when the shots do start falling, you can break that thing open, and that's what happened. But we kept guarding, and that was the key. We kept guarding, so we didn't get in the habit of trading baskets with them, which I'm pleased with.
You spoke pretty highly of the young guys after the scrimmage. What did you see out of them tonight, the freshmen?
Well, I thought Cody's going to find his way. There's no doubt about it. He's a good player. We've seen him in practice. We've had 28 practices and 2 competitions, now 3 competitions. He wasn't at his best tonight, but he's a good player, and he's going to find his way, in this system. He's still figuring things out as a freshman. Eddie, I wouldn't consider him a young guy, but he's still playing himself into shape, figuring out the offense. He's going to get better and better. And I thought R.J. Smith had some good minutes. I thought he was really good off the bench tonight in his role. And Hassan and Bangat, look, they're 2 freshman bigs that are just going to keep getting better and better. They're figuring it out as well. So I was pleased with them tonight. But, they didn't play a lot against Texas, but they played a lot against Metro. And I think what they found out is the difference in physicality between a Division I team and a Division II team. Because, look, Towson's a big, strong, physical guys that are tough. I got a lot of respect for their coach, a lot of respect for their players. They're tough-minded guys. And so I thought it was a good learning experience for our young guys.
Coach, you mentioned 22 assists. And
yeah.
At one point in the preseason, you told me this has the potential to be a high assist group.
Yep.
Maybe not 22 every night, but this is a good example of maybe what this team can do when you share the ball.
When we share the ball, when we move the ball, when we attack the paint, and we get the ball moved side to side, those are the 2 things offensively I want as a coach before we take jump shots. Is I want the ball moved from one side of the floor to the other, and I want the ball in the paint, whether that's on a drive, whether that's on a roll, whether that's on a whatever it might be. And then we get that thing sprayed out and make the one more passes. And when this team does that like we did, it's fun to watch, it's fun to play, and the results are usually pretty good.
We talked a lot about last season about this kind of KJ struggles once the new year hit in 2023. Tonight, 7 for 9 from the field. I mean, he talked a lot about how efficient he wanted to be this season. Is this kind of him at his best offensively? Obviously, no turnovers as well.
Absolutely. 3 assists, no turnovers, 7 for 9 from the field. Just let the game come to him, but was still aggressive, finding that balance. That's the one thing KJ and I have talked about a lot, as we head into this season, is now he's a junior, now he's an upperclassman. look, KJ's wired to score. I mean, he is wired to score, and we need him and want him to score, but he's got to find that balance between scoring and distributing, and I thought he did a phenomenal job of that tonight. And again, if he keeps doing that, this team's going to be really good because we've got guys that are capable of playing more efficiently than they did tonight, and we'll see that and the nice thing too about this team, I would say this is we don't have to rely on one guy every single night. You know, Julian Hammond, he had efficient minutes. 4 assists and 1 turnover. We got guys coming off the bench. We got guys that start. It doesn't have to be the same guy every single night. We need a level of consistency, certainly with KJ and Tristan and Javon Hadley, who doesn't get enough credit with this team, in my mind. But I like our group.
Hey, Coach, what does that mean moving forward? As most of what we got today was names that you're familiar with from last year, and to know that you have a Cody Williams who is yet to get his feet under him,
right,
and that Eddie hasn't hit his stride yet.
Exactly.
Not looking too far ahead, but you got to feel good about that.
Absolutely. No, and that's why because I know what Eddie's capable of. I know what Cody's capable of. And it's not like they played poorly tonight. It's just, when we get everybody hitting on all cylinders and figuring it out, and Eddie's in a new program, trying to figure it out. Cody's a freshman, playing college basketball at the highest level. He's got a target on his back. Everybody knows he's not your typical freshman in terms of scouting reports, People are going to try to be physical with him. They're going to try to get up in him. This team, Towson, was a physical team. And Cody's learned how to handle that, and he will continue to learn and get better. That's why, I don't worry about Cody and Eddie. I really don't. I just know when they do get their legs under them and start feeling a little bit more comfortable in the system, look out.
Coach, Tristan only took 1 shot in the first half.
Yeah.
You said before the season that it doesn't take a lot of coaching with him, but what do you say at halftime?
Well, I didn't say it to our team. I did say it to our staff. We need to get him involved in part of our offense. Not to say that, he needs to score it every time or look to make a play every time, and Tristan's really unselfish, which is a good thing. That makes him who he is. But he needs more than 1 shot in 20 minutes. And our players need to understand that too. That's where KJ or Julian or RJ or Cody need to understand that and maybe look for him a little bit more. Because, again, Tristan, when he's guarded with a 3-man like he was tonight, is sometimes not quite as effective as when he's guarded with a big guy. That's when the mismatch opportunities come. And their 3-man was 6'7" and pretty physical. So the beauty of Tristan's game is he can post up and he can play outside and he can shoot threes. Finally, we got him some looks in that second half, but he's got to have more than 1 shot in a half.
Tad, as you've probably heard, the women won tonight.
Yeah, fantastic.
Except for maybe one season early in your tenure here, I don't know that there's been kind of the shared expectations of the 2 programs in this building. What's that been like? You share the office suites upstairs.
Yeah.
What's it been like kind of going into this season with both teams setting the bar high?
Yeah, I don't think it's really any different, Pat, to be honest with you. I'm sure JR would probably say the same thing. She's so focused and dialed in on her program and her team, and we're so dialed in and focused on ours. I knew a year ago, just from watching a few practices and seeing a few early games, how good they were going to be last year, and obviously they were. They went to the Sweet 16, and obviously with the majority of their production coming back and a few additions, they're going to be better this year, and I think JR felt like that. And the thing about JR that I appreciate is she doesn't, talk a lot of smack. She doesn't beat her chest, so to speak. She kind of just waits for the opportunity, and the opportunity to play a program like LSU on opening night, I mean, nothing but upside, and they're realizing that upside tonight. Now they'll have a target on their back as they progress and become higher ranked, but I'm really, really proud of her and her staff and her players and their program because I know how hard they work and the time and effort they've put in. I don't know what this is their 8th year, so really happy for her. She's a quality person, quality staff, quality people, quality players, so really happy for JR and their program.
Has it been cool to kind of, because she got here, you'd already been established here, just kind of seeing her progress over
Yeah,
the year?
absolutely, because you watch them, you see them, and, I don't get to see them as much, obviously, because a lot of times when we're at home, they're on the road and vice versa, but, follow the scores, and you see their recruiting, and so, yeah, we pull for each other. I sent her a text today wishing her luck, and I'm glad they got the win. It's a big win for their program and for this university.
Just your rotation. Just your rotation and how many minutes you're giving guys. How much are you still feeling that out?
Still feeling it out. I didn't realize. It's funny. Cody played, I think, 30 minutes a game, and I was like, I wanted to get him back in there at the end because I want to get him more experience on the floor, and because he is a freshman. So, but Coach Rowan was like, Coach, he played 30 minutes. I said, I didn't realize that. Okay, let's let Julian go, because I know, again, I trust Julian Hammond. I know how good he is. He's kind of been battle tested. So these freshmen in those situations, I want to get our freshmen, whether it's Cody, whether it's Bangat, whether it's Hassan, as many minutes as I can here early in the season, because I know, and you guys know, when Pac-12 play starts, that rotation gets shrunk. But, yeah, so we'll look at that. We always tweak it a little bit. And sometimes it's based on foul trouble, and sometimes it's based on how guys are playing. So, but early in the season, it's more based on foul trouble, and because I want to let guys play through mistakes and get a little feel for the rotation and not pull them in and out so quickly.
Building off that question, what was going through your mind when you're looking at this roster during that stretch at the end of the first half when you're trying to find answers offensively and defensively?
Well, I'm like, okay, this is where we need your best players to start making some plays offensively within the flow of the offense. So, whether it's what we're running or who we're getting shots for, that's what I'm thinking, especially as you head into halftime. Like, I knew Tristan didn't get many looks. We had to get him more looks. KJ is a guy, he's going to find his. He's so explosive, and he's got the ball in his hands a lot. So I don't worry about getting KJ shots, because KJ will get himself shots. As long as they're good shots like they were tonight, I'm great with it. Tristan is a guy we need to make sure he's aggressive, under control. Cody needs to be aggressive, under control. Javon Hadley, again, he doesn't get enough credit. Aggressive, under control. That's the biggest thing. And that under control piece is why we have turnover problems. We got to play more under control.
Okay, anything else? All right,
Thank you. Yep.
Thanks, Coach.